Business banking expertise near you.
Well, how much trouble is Hillary Clinton in? The FBI is investigating her emails yet again, but it's thrown up so many questions. The timing, well, that's interesting. It's 11 days out from the election. There are a number of conflicting reports in the US. Some are reporting that FBI investigators waited weeks before briefing the FBI director, James Comey. Others report that he's known about this for weeks. Robert Weiner is a Democratic strategist and former spokesperson for Bill Clinton in the White House. Robert, is this damaging for Clinton? Given that we don't know whether these emails are damaging in any way, we don't know about the content of them.
Hi, Rachel, and it's good to be back with you again. Yes, it is damaging because it comes across as a fishing expedition, the kind that Ken Starr did against Bill Clinton. And for FBI Director Comey to do that 10 days before the election, when the policy and the edict from the Justice Department is to not interfere with an election right before it occurs, is outrageous. So you may not know, but Senator Harry Reid, the minority leader who could be the majority leader if the Democrats take the Senate and then have investigations, has called on Comey to respond to the fact that he's violating the law, the Hatch Act of interference with an election. And this kind of making Hillary Clinton the victim, which is what happened in the Ken Starr operation, you remember, for Bill Clinton, backfires against the Republicans. And Bill Clinton left office as the most popular president ever. So the Democrats are fighting back.
Sure. That said, what Clinton did, though, was wrong, very wrong. She used a private server for communications while she was Secretary of State, and someone with her experience, her vast experience, would have known that was wrong. So why did she ever put herself in that position? I think that's what makes people speculate about just what's been going on in these emails.
Well, you bit, Rachel, on the Republican propaganda. Was it very wrong? Colin Powell sent an email, and he finally had to admit it, that advised her to do it, saying he did the same thing. Condi Rice did the same thing. Secretaries of State have kept private emails. And
but they haven't used them for communicating.
Server was not. You got to ask the question. I get to answer it.
Okay.
Bill Clinton's email was not hacked. Their email server was not hacked successfully. It's all from other sources, from other people, from other places where the emails went. So that happens no matter where you send it from. And the White House was hacked. 3 million people were hacked at the White House. So Hillary used a private server. That actually was a way to protect the security and protect the privacy. That's why the FBI actually found no guilty actions by her.
Now, I will know that I will have listeners right now saying, well, that is spin, the fact that she was using a private server to protect these communications. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of emails of the Secretary of State here, which is a position that, gosh, half the world would want to hack into. I mean, she uses an official server because that's what keeps all of that information protected.
Would want to, but did not. And James Carville, their close friend, said the real reason that Hillary used a private server was she didn't want Louis Gohmert, the stupidest congressman, getting into her emails. And I don't blame her for that. You don't want that if you're Secretary of State. So she protected the privacy of her emails by way of having a private server. Now, was it technically a violation? Perhaps. Is it the end of the world? No, because she wasn't violating national security. She was protecting it. That's why there was no prosecution. And these emails are duplicative, by the way. They may have the same ones. The emails from Huma and Anthony Weiner, they're not even Hillary's emails. Maybe the same thing they already know about. So for Comey to put a fishing expedition insinuendo, which is what Reid said, the minority leader of the Senate, against Hillary right before the election, is really an unfair thing to do, and Hillary has demanded full information coming out.
Okay, and all of this information that you're furnishing us with here in New Zealand is fantastic, but most Americans won't get that much detail that you've just explained to us. So if you're Hillary Clinton and right now you're faced with this very damaging situation, 11 days out from an election, what do you do to make sure you don't take a major drop in the polls?
Well, that's it. She is demanding. She has taken that action. She is now demanding full information from the FBI because it's a double standard. He hasn't asked for full information about the Russians. He hasn't released what he's going after from the Russians who launched this hacking in the first place. That didn't get into Hillary's email, but it got into ways around it, and her Podesta and her Homa friends, and it got the emails a different way. The Russians have hacked the election successfully. He's not releasing that information. Yet 19 intelligence agencies have said the Russians have hacked, but the FBI won't release that information about what they've got, what they found. They only released this vague, nothing, there may not be any conflict, we don't know, kind of a letter. Well, what is that? That's the worst kind of justice that is injustice. And that's the point that Hillary made. That's what Ken Starr tried on Bill Clinton, and he left office at 70, the most popular president in history.
Okay. 11 days out from the election, Robert Weiner, can you pick it?
Well, I pick it Hillary. I say that Hillary, and it's going to widen back out now because people are seeing the injustice of what they have done to Hillary, putting this fishing expedition out there. It's like listening to Trump and doing what he said, to go after Hillary's emails and to go after Homa and Anthony Weiner. That's what Trump said. So Comey is a Republican appointee, and he's showing his stripes. So I think that's what Hillary's doing right now to make sure that she is shown as victimized, which is what she is exactly the right strategy. I think that she will win by, the poll of polls today shows 5 points. I think that's probably about where it's going to land. She'll probably win by about 5.
We shall see. Robert Weiner, very much appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you. Democratic strategist, former spokesman for the Clinton White House. It's 5:13.